Anything happening?
Nothing. Nothing psycho. Nothing happening. I just stay in the house. Very.
How do you spend your time though when you're just at
You
home?
mean with 2 grandchildren? You're asking me?
Yeah. She'll be busy cleaning up, running after them.
My head has been done.
I know.
Okay, but that's the life.
Don't go there. Don't stop there. Carry him.
Yeah.
The one that is crawling too. The baby is crawling now, I'm sure.
She's walking.
Yeah.
She's been walking since she
Baby
came.
is walking.
Picking everything, pulling this, going around. Oh, well,
And
exactly.
she wants to be on the move. She just wants to move. It's movements.
Like you're living the life.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Thank God.
And then you get to glam up like this.
I can't complain. I thank God, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I can't lie.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those who say, "Hey, it's so good. I'm so grateful."
But you're grateful.
I'm grateful, but it is hard.
I need to go.
Thank God.
Good.
Nice and bright this morning.
Yes, very colorful. It's a colorful Thursday. So there's this thing when people greet you, you know, security men greet you, attendants at supermarkets greet you. You'll be wondering, are they just really nice people or they're expecting me to tip them? So sometimes I'm like, okay, should I appreciate, just smile and greet you back? Or should I put my hand into the envelope and tip? But you know, that's
Do you have an envelope ready?
No, it's just that because of this high service greeting that is so prevalent in our society, we don't now know which one is genuine, just kind person complimenting you. When you compliment me as a attendant, I'll be like, okay, say, you're looking very beautiful today, so that I can tip you something. And then it makes us feel a bit, I feel like I'm not being appreciative of people as I should be, because I feel like they're doing it because they want to get something. And how do we now reverse that culture? It's just...
So greet them back now and be moving. If you don't have money to give them, if you don't feel like giving, nobody will beat you, nobody put their hands into your pocket.
Anyways,
if you feel like I have tons of shout-outs. Do we have time?
Go ahead.
So, happy birthday to Samuel DK. He's a medical doctor. Currently living in Nigeria. This one that you put currently, are you planning to relocate? Please don't.
Maybe he just moved in.
He's turning 27. I have another one. Let me quickly get it.
So I have someone, his name is Anyofeoluwa Timothy Olatunji from Roda KG, wishing him a happy birthday, that this is his nephew. I have another person whose birthday is today, 40th. So Beecee, do you have your...
Yes, a birthday shout out for her niece. She says, Anyofeoluwa Timothy Olatunji. Today is his birthday. Today is his birthday, so his nephew now, not niece. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to Anyofeoluwa. Timothy Olatunji.
I have one for my niece. She's 21 tomorrow.
Okay. Wow.
She's even in England. She's in university. She's coming of age tomorrow, and I have a message for her.
Nice.
Told me, Lola.
And I have a fine...
I will tell you what my auntie told me.
Okay.
When you turn 21, the years fly by.
Yeah.
So another one, Taiwo Michael is 40 today. Happy birthday to Taiwo Michael.
Yes, I saw this. From Ogundele Oyedamola.
Another 40th.
Yeah.
Johnson Oluwafemi Abel. Today is his 40th birthday as well. Happy 40th to you.
Okay. Anything else?
Have we covered everybody?
I think so.
Please, let me play rant once more. Do you have something?
Don't have time for
Government
ranting.
inconsistency of policy. So CMD road I was driving past. You remember this CMD road where they cleared everybody, all the shops that they want to plant flowers and do a garden there? Every business is back up on that place. And then we just destroyed properties and wasted people's resources, and we did not follow through with the policy we're meant to do. Lagos State government, let's follow through. It's important so that government people, when people see you come with bulldozers, we don't think it is bad belly. We understand that you have a policy and you're going to do it. But when things like this happen, next time you come with bulldozers, they'll feel like it's just bad belly move because it's not consistent. They didn't follow through.
So I remember this is
they're supposed to let everybody out, and
happened?
everybody is back there now.
Do you know what happened?
I don't know. We don't. Government, what happened? Lagos State should tell us.
Maybe Koro happened.
Maybe Koro happened.
They're not ready.
No, because Koro, let me be honest, Koro had destabilized not just Nigerian government, all governments around the world. Look, hey, we didn't just about America.
Hey, it's in the papers, don't worry, right here. I was saying that all the online social distancing police, they don't talk. They're all saying, hey, congratulations to Biden. Nobody said, oh, I saw Obama hugging. I saw Michelle hugging and the Lady Gaga. All of them, The point is, it was us. We had the online police. We start shouting, hey, Buhari and Kiniko,
I didn't watch it though. Did they have nose
shook
masks?
hands. Everybody had nose masks, absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody had their face mask on. But the point is that there was a lot of activity and hugging.
Close proximity.
I was a bit worried that, do you know they took the first family's picture? This is an iconic
The new
moment.
one or the old one?
The current first family,
okay.
Joe Biden and his family, and all of them had nose masks. Fast forward to 20 years, how would that picture look like? Like, who are these people? Who are these presidents? Who are these people with these pictures?
As a woman,
let's go on a break.
vice president
As
now.
in
We're waiting for Nigeria to have woman president.
Let's go on a break.
No vice president.
We'll talk about it. You know that we're looking for our second talk. Maybe we'll talk about it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So let's start with the nation. Presidency Ondo Governor Herder's eviction row grows. Bandits to drop arms after parley with Gumi police. Nigeria's debt may hit 60 trillion naira. Stop extremism, racism, Biden tells Americans. Demand justice in united Nigeria. FEC OK 65 years exit age, more pay for teachers, and COVID-19 situation, 2 Osun EXCO members positive, amongst others. Okay.
I want to take the bandits.
Bandits, please go ahead.
Yes, so about 600 suspected bandits in Kaduna State have agreed to lay down their arms and embrace peace. So they had a meeting with the police commissioner, Umar Muri, and an Islamic scholar, Sheikh Ahmad, and, you know, they promised that they were going to come out of the forest, lay down their arms, and they will not take back to the forest. But they gave conditions saying that for so long, the government has abandoned them. They don't have good water supply. There are no schools in their environment. There are no clinics, and they are being hunted and killed by the police. But if the agreement, because the agreement was not made you know, open to the public, so we really do not know what they agreed with the government. But if they go back on their agreement and not provide the basic necessities that they need in their localities, they are going to go back to the forest, and they will continue banditry. But I think the police commissioner, I think, gave them 500,000 naira and promised that they were going to look into this. So this is another case of negotiating with bandits. We do not have the details of what they have been promised. So,
okay.
I don't
And
know.
in COVID updates,
Yes.
the virus is back tougher in Kano, says Ganduje. Lagos State tests 264,000, says Abayomi. Then 2 Osun State ESCO members have tested positive for COVID. And then TB Joshua says we should work with the government for the vaccine.
Good news for teachers. So we have at the FEC meeting, they approved that 65-year age is now going to be the age of retirement. There was the harmonized retirement age for teachers, Bill 2021. And the intention is to attract. I want to assure teachers that the government will do what they can to make sure that they are well taken care of.
And also the hazard allowance.
Yes, but linking that to the story of what the Minister for Finance is saying, our debt profile is going to hit 60 trillion naira by conversion of CBN indebtedness into loan, and also our budget for 2021 is going to be largely funded by borrowing. So when we make promises like this to teachers, do we have the funds to pay?
That's a good question.
As well.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. YCE, Afenifere Middle Belt Forum stands back Ondo governor. NIN SIM linkage. Don't block anybody from networks till February 9th. Corruption, inefficiency in regulatory agencies worrisome, says Oshimbajo. APC warns against hijack of membership registration and revalidation. African countries to pay $3 to $10 per COVID-19 vaccine dose under the AU plan. In Osun, traditional powers are our backbone, says General Adewumbi.
The African Union have
ahead.
secured a reduction in the prices of the COVID-19 vaccines, and they are saying that Africa will pay $3 and $10 per vaccine dose, and we're expected to have 270 million COVID-19 shots. Now, Nigeria, on the other hand, will be paying $283 million for that vaccine. And they are also saying that for countries who cannot pay outrightly, you are giving to about 5 to 8 years to be able to pay. So it's a loan you're taking to be able to pay. But experts are worried that a lot of countries are not even able to survive as a result of the harsh economic realities that COVID-19 has brought. Now, putting them to start paying a loan on COVID-19 vaccine is not going to make sense. But
and then Afenifere, Middle Belt Forum are all backing Ondo State Governor, because if you recall, Ondo State Governor herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen that have refused to register with the government should vacate the forest reserves and the entire and the communities at large. And NF, that's the National Elders Forum, the Northern Elders Forum had said that that declaration was provocative and it was wrong for the government to do that. But on the other hand, other groups such as the Afenifere, Middle Belt Forum and a bunch of others are supporting the government, saying that what he did was within his powers to do so because of the safety of his people.
And apart from that, he said he didn't ask them to quit the state or the forest. They should quit the forest reserves, which is different. The forest reserves is reserved because they use it to protect wildlife and the trees. So when they go there to graze, they cut down the trees, they sleep there, so that place is no more protected.
Right.
So they're not, and that is where the criminals actually go to hide in the forest reserves.
So, okay, moving on now to the Punch. Sans, Afenifere, Bakakere, we talked about that already. We paid for Ilorin nude party, arrested mastermind in bank, says police. Edo NDLA seizes over 15,000 kilograms of cannabis, cocaine, tramadol, and 10 cars. Osun bans parties, vigils, restricts gatherings, introduces curfew. Ekiti established 5 billion naira snail farm, projects 6 billion naira annual profit. Osunbajo demands sanctions for fraud, extortion, bribery in government agencies, and 21 million subscribers still without NIN, says telcos. Which story are we taking?
The Kwara State.
Happened in Kwara?
Yes, so a group of young men, like what we had in the northern states, planned another sex party, and they said this sex party was going to be held in clubs and service apartments, and they announced it on social media. Fee to be a part of it was 20,000 on that, and they paid into the person's suspect's account. While he was going to withdraw the money, he was arrested, and some of the other members who were planning it fled. So they are saying that they've started investigations and they're going to get those other people who flew. They are not going to allow any form of immorality in the state.
What's that story taking in Punch? No other story.
The drug story.
Yeah, so I tried. I didn't finish reading. I started reading it, but I mean, pretty much the story is that NDLA seized about 15,000 kilograms of cannabis in Edo State. That's a lot of cannabis.
Grown there?
I didn't get that details.
It's grown there now.
I didn't get that detail, but
they are seizing it. Other countries are legalizing it and using it. So I don't want. That's a hot topic.
Okay, don't even go there because.
No, I'm serious.
No, you're talking about is a whole different. It means a whole different thing from any of the.
It doesn't matter because I don't smoke.
True.
So, but I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form.
If it can be used for our benefit.
I'm saying it can be used for medicinal purposes.
Medicinal purposes.
All around the world, they're using it for medicine, for cancer patients, AIDS patients. Here, we're destroying it. Now, when we're now importing it, we're now importing legally as a CBD oil.
Oh, is that CBD
yes,
oil?
that is CBD oil. We are now, what we have here, we are now
buying
importing.
from outside. Oh my God.
This is how Africans just continue to kill themselves, stab themselves in the, shoot themselves in the foot.
But we may not have the ability to process it. Maybe
Why don't we have the ability? Exactly. We have students, we have
brilliant students. Come on.
Daily Sun, our educational, there's a whole lot of gamut of issues. Daily Sun, I'll find out about Northern Elders we talked about. Let's find a story we've not taken. Niger Delta, IYC warns of second wave of militancy. Obviously replies IPOP, opens up. They're unhappy with Buhari and Bafarawa. Who has any story there?
I think I will do the Ugboh Youths. So Ugboh Youths Council worldwide are raising alarm over the second wave of militancy in the Niger Delta. They are saying the federal government have failed to implement the full package of the Presidential Amnesty Program, PAP. One of the benefits of that package was to, develop them, create a lot of jobs for the youths, and they have only succeeded in doing the first stage, which is to, demobilize them and get them out of the creeks. But right now they've abandoned moving the project further to the proper development that they planned. So they are saying that if you don't go back to the things you're supposed to, don't think because you have free flow of oil that we are just going to stay away and not have any benefits. If you don't do anything, we're going back to the creeks and we're going to cause more trouble.
This is what
Bafarawa is saying, that's the former governor of Sokoto State, that the government is not doing anything about insecurity, that the North is very, very insecure at the moment, so they need to step up.
Okay. Things like this is what happens when we begin to provide profit to insurgencies and crises when they happen. When we give them incentives, they would always threaten us to go back.
But they're not giving them anything right now.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, it's Thursday. Talk about life issues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our guest, Alaga Adro.
I'm here.
Oh, fantastic.
I think the network is
yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you back. Now, we were talking earlier about the fact that, you see, we are all in agreement that culture should be upheld and that it's important to give value for something that you actually value also. I mean, give something for something you value. But our issue is, in modern times, or maybe in these times, do you think we can modify what people are asking for? Yes, in certain cultures it might not be as demanding as others, but can we unify it somewhat such that people don't feel that burden of looking for so much money to get and satisfy the husband's family or the bride's family? Can we find a way to modify it for modern times' sake?
Okay, if I can understand what you're saying, sometimes when the bride, the dowry area is exaggerated, probably something that is enormous for the groom to achieve.
Yes.
Yes, even these days, some families, they've changed what they ask for. Sometimes they won't tell the groom to bring 42 yams, they'll tell him to bring 22 as like half of 42, that is 21 yams, 22 yams there about. And they split almost everything on every year, they split it halfway. And let us keep it in mind that recently, a lot of families don't take bride price anymore because they return the envelope for, the dowry. When I mean the bride price, the dowry, the one that's being kept inside the envelope. Some families get to return it to the groom's family, telling them that they are not selling their daughter, they love their daughter, they want her to be taken care of, they don't want problems. That whenever they should be able to, sort it within themselves. So I can tell you that recently, we don't have the very big, exaggerated dowry.
So my worry therefore is that if a parent, let me hear me out for a moment. So if parents are saying, take back the money, we cannot send our daughter, doesn't that sound hypocritical? 1 second we're saying it's our culture, we want to uphold the fact that yes, you give something, and then they now bring something, and modernization is now saying, oh, I'm not sending my daughter. So which is it? Where are we exactly on this line? Are we cancelling bride price? Or are we saying it's important part of our culture? Are we discarding it? Let us be very clear. I'll come back to you, madam. Let me take this.
I want to ask her a follow-up question. Like, I know that because it's our culture to give something when you're getting married, when anything happens and there is about to be a divorce, is that particular one you put in the envelope that you pay back. Now, those families who are rejecting collecting anything, so if there's a divorce now, are they not getting, how do they leave court? So leave court. Court is not our own. White wedding is not ours. Tradition now. So how do you now dissolve the marriage? What's the significant, what do you use as a benchmark for dissolving that marriage? If you do not collect anything, what do they pay back to dissolve that marriage if you let it go? That's for families that don't collect anything at the end of the day. Okay.
you get to return. I think it's us Yorubas that we don't do it.
Okay, you don't return in
culture,
Yoruba
we don't
culture.
return.
Yes, the new, I think the new groom who will be getting married to the bride gets to give them back what the previous.
So let me ask you a more soft question concerning your job as an alaga. It's your job is to be the life of the party. You guys usually make the weddings. A good alaga turns a traditional wedding into like the best thing in the world. What is the part in this tradition that you find most like that interests you the most? Which part of it do you feel like I can't do without? This part I always prepare for it, I practice for it. Can you share that with us?
Okay, basically the part I find interesting in our tradition is when the bride is about to step into her husband's family. When a parent, most especially a mother, hug her, pray for her, say something, deep prayers, they will read Quran or read the Bible, say some Bible verses, to send her forth into her husband's family. I think that place is a bit emotional for me, considering the fact that I have 3 daughters. It's not easy for you, the daughter you've raised over the years, to become somebody's wife, and you get to see her once in a while, probably even once in a year. So I think that part it can't be overemphasized.
Very emotional.
Actually emotional for me.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much.
Mothers
Do you
are
have any
always crying.
tweets?
I have an interesting twist.
My cousin and her husband, when they are joking, fighting, I will say to him, we are going to come and collect our daughter back from you. He will say, bring my dowry back. I will say, which dowry? Money, you have used the dowry finish. You can't collect nothing. She has got children for years.
Yes, so who pays for those years?
You are not going to pay us now.
Yes,
Do you have any tweets?
yes, I have an interesting one here. Theo says the difference between baby mama and wife is bride price. 100%. Pacific 101 says payment of bride prices are culture and should never be thrown into the trash because it's so important. This doesn't mean we are buying the lady from their parents. We should all change our narratives. Olajumoke says, I think the bride price should still be in the engagement list, but should be returned back in the presence of everyone. That's what is practiced in my family, and I'm Yoruba from Osun State. My bride price and that of my sisters were returned.
Bashirat Ibrahim says cultural practices should be stopped or encouraged based on whether it's functional or dysfunctional. There are harmful cultural practices and there are those that are helpful. This should be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Abuja Perfume Oil says, is the bride price the same as dowry? Because I think dowry is given to the bride to start her new family and bride price is paid to the bride's parents. And PJ, someone more. PJ Comedian says the actual bride price payment is in most part of the country isn't much. Now the least most times they cause kasala, especially in most parts of the East. Our traditions is our heritage, but we should not allow that heritage to kill us.
Okay, so we have three tweets I will quickly take. Fabulously Tolu says, you don't pay bride price, you give bride price. I think it's where the misconception comes from. Dunsi Olabi says, who should decide the worth of a woman to be married? The parents or the bride? Whoever decides the worth should decide the token. This way, nobody is God. The parents, the bride, and the groom. Then the most wanted says, I think we are forgetting the actual reason we pay/receive bride price is to compensate the bride's parents for losing a productive daughter and the lineage of future children, as well as someone to look after them in their old age.
Okay, I have a very important one, please. From Abdul Rashid Lawal says, traditional marriage rights is a demonstration of commitment from both sides. Traditionally, it is all family affairs. After the rights, the couple can decide on how to live their lives. If we fail to do it, we only absolve the families from the
unfortunately.
have their implications.
That's all we can take. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajibade, for joining us this morning. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we move on to the hottest news in town. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, yesterday, many of us witnessed the inauguration of 46th president, Joe Biden, and his vice president, who is Black American, half Asian, and the first female vice president in the United States. And it was an interesting thing to watch the entire ceremony. Everybody had their face mask on, and the patriotic speeches, the fact that everybody kept referencing what happened 2 Wednesdays ago on January 6th, saying that the democracy was attacked, and the fact that their fragile democracy could have been totally hit at the roots if that January 6th event was allowed to go the way it did. But they are grateful that even with all that, they were able to overcome and still be able to come on the day as yesterday to inaugurate their new president. But I just wanted to hear your thoughts on not just about the inauguration, but more on this vice president who is female, who is not your perfect family woman. You know how in Nigerian culture, when a woman has to be married with her husband and have her husband's name, have her children, you know, the whole Nigerian story. But this is a woman who is married to a man, and she decides to keep her own name, you know, and she's having her stepchildren as her kids, and, you know, she's running her family the way she knows how, and yet she's been able to accomplish herself to this level. So what are your general thoughts? What came to mind when you're seeing the Kamala up there on stage? And I'd like to hear of yours.
For me, when I was seeing Kamala yesterday, I was watching it yesterday, and because America is the country that everybody looks up to, it was a good thing that a woman had become president there.
Vice president.
Vice president, sorry. Well, if anything happens to, you know, so that is the real essence of, because Joe Biden is 77.
Sure.
So for me, it was a good thing, but I had to reverse and ask myself, as a Nigerian, is it possible in this Nigeria of today for a woman to become president? Because in my belief, I believe that if a woman becomes president in Nigeria, the correct woman becomes president in Nigeria, Nigeria will change. Nigeria will be the country we all want to be in, because women are nurturers. And being a nurturer, you will be able to nurture your country back into, that's my belief, you know. So
we saw the example with Liberia. Liberia was able to have that first president, and we all celebrated it at the time. But we thought that would inspire us.
And she did well.
I mean, we thought that would inspire Africa at least to begin to encourage more women into political office. So yes, we were all happy about the inauguration yesterday. We saw Kamala. I mean, I was just, yeah, when she was taking her oath, you know, I was practically taking her oath with her. But the point is that, do we have that kind of leadership? Do we have women who we can begin to push to get to that height in politics? Are there people who have demonstrated their capability in such a way that we feel that as a people, this person can lead this country? I mean, 2023 is still far away, and thank you, Waike, for taking us there, because maybe we should just pack the American story on one side and focus on how we can focus on getting a female president, because nobody is talking about female president in Nigeria. They're only talking about APC, PDP, Igbo, South, North, and that's all we're hearing. Nobody's saying maybe it's time for us to have a female president.
Okay, go ahead.
We actually have enough women. Like, we have enough women who've displayed competence, who can lead this country well. We actually do. We have from the north, we have from the west. We have from the middle belt. So I know that it's not about the person or capacity of the people. It is more about the way our political wiring has been done to create a disadvantage against women, because we have a system that, the way it is right now, the cost of running a political election in Nigeria is ridiculously expensive, from campaign to funding every unit. No individual has successfully can make that decision. They would need a rallying force of many people. Do we have enough Nigerian men who will be willing to back a Nigerian woman to become the president, because it would take a bipartisan of both male and female to support one person as a female to become the president. I don't think we have that political will yet. I don't think we have that. We are ready at that point. I think that the first goal should be, let's even have a female vice president, and then we have an active vice president as a female vice president. If we can get to that point, let's have a female president of the Senate. Let's have a female speaker. We had a female speaker. Yeah. They roped her into something, and then something happened. But let's have such female strong figures.
Okay. I know Obiajulu wants to talk, but I just want to say something quickly because I want to go back to Morayo. Morayo, we just finished a discussion on bride price, and we're now talking of female presidents. Are we conflicting in our emotions?
How, please?
Because we are saying we want. Yeah, bride price, we should remain as, yes, you must... Culture. And now we're saying female president. Is it the woman that they paid for that will now become president?
That's
even, so that just crossed my mind.
That even takes me to my point. So I wanted to say that I don't think we should rush things. We're not there yet. That's is heavily patriarchal, where even we're still struggling with inequality between the sexes. We still have that in many organizations today. You don't get the kind of support when it comes to a woman taking certain positions, not because they are not competent, but because you feel they are under somebody. Will she be able to do the midnight meetings? Will her husband let her?
She'll change it. She doesn't have to midnight anymore.
No. It can't work during the day. That's the structure that's working, because most meetings where you need to, in fact, let me not even go far. Our entrepreneurs and very big business, the Dangotes, they meet in the midnight. That is where they have time to discuss and have serious, interventions in their jobs and everything. So this is how our politics is run. Will she be allowed? Peradventure, this person is married. Will she be allowed to come out in the midnight today, tomorrow? They'll start, the way the rumors go. Probably she's not sleeping with this politician, all of that. So we are not there yet. I don't think we should rush it. Now, for America, they've come to that level where they put competence above the sexes, whether you are a male or female. Once they see you can deliver, you are there for the job. We are still struggling with that.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we are still on the issue of who do we think, especially a female, leading this country. I'd like to hear some names, though. I mean, I know it's hard for us to mention it, but there are people who have demonstrated some sense of responsibility. I mean, people know I already love Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, but people have asked her several times to see if she can run. And she said, Nigeria, I mean, I read her book and she's like, no, thank you. I mean, I've seen a few interviews of her where they asked her directly and she's like, nah, she'll just stay on the international level because they value her more and they appreciate the work she's doing and giving to their society. But in our view, do you think, do we have this kind of women that we can all begin to discuss and say, you know what, let's push this person?
I like Ibuka Awosika. I like Adiza Usman.
The NPA boss.
Yes, the NPA boss. Ibuka Awosika has displayed leadership consistently across board. Ngozi is not going to want to come to work here, but I like Obi Ezekwesili. Like, you love to hate her. You don't like her controversy. I love him. I love Obi Ezekwesili. Okay. She's not perfect. But I think that I've read a few tweets and they're saying, don't focus on sex, let's focus on competence. And I said, and my own is, we've tried men for 60 years in Nigeria. We've tried men. So if we've tried men, why don't we try women? According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, we have more women than men in the country anyway. So we might as well give them opportunity to lead. And let's even compare with the worst leadership we've had.
What's that famous quote coach, what they call it, these life coaches like to use? You can't continue doing the same thing and expect
different results.
So let's try a woman.
Let's try a woman. Don't men, 60 years.
Bad men too.
I haven't read the tweets. But this one that you're saying, they're saying, let's not focus on sex, let's focus on competence. That's what I'm saying. Let us focus on competence. And if it's a woman that is competent, let her do it. Let us not, but I agree with Obiajulu when she says, we're not there because even a security guard, if you fight him, you say, I have your type at home.
Bam. You put here.
Who is your type that you have at home?
I'm not yet. I'm not.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So Okada rider will tell you too.
Yes,
Say,
now,
what is it?
I have exactly.
Have you watched the interview that Moabudu did? The CNN interview. When you watch that interview, I could understand, because she said, as a woman, to do the kind of things I'm doing, you need to be tough.
And they call you
You need
aggressive.
to be hard, and they will call you aggressive. Then you need to be tough, you need to be hard. And people say that about her. And I think that she's also someone that I would vote for.
Okay. Let me add to that. For me, I think we should move beyond people who are in politics when we want to look for leadership. We should look at people who have been able to create something from nothing. Everybody's complaining the harsh situation in the country, they harsh this, they harsh. There are people who are building enterprises, who are creating businesses, who are empowering people in the private sector. Such persons, when you put them in a place, they will be able to create this one that most of our leaders do not are bereft of ideas to even generate income in their states. People who can create something out of nothing, put them in that position, and they will create something for the country. So I'm not even looking at people who are in politics. I'm looking at who are popular. I'm looking at people who are creators. That's what we need. We need an economic change in the country. So let us look at individuals. You know why I wanted to say this? You know, we had the what's it called, the sentiment of integrity, this one, that one. I mean, I was sitting, I was looking, I was asking myself, what has not been in government, what has he done for his people? What has he created for his people? Is it the best that we can muster? So it's not about whether you can fight corruption or you have integrity. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at what can you do with the gold mine that is Nigeria, given into your hands. I hear you, but... Then, secondly, I also wanted to mention that, you know, this patriarchy we talk about, it's even the women that uphold it. It's the women that at the end of the day, they will not support you for whatever reason. The men, when they see that you have competence, they will want to push you forward. But it's the women around you that will now feel, why her? Why should we push her forward? So we need to still look at that if we want a woman to
There is this man that
lead
has
us.
just tweeted, HJ. He says, at the inequity, I disagree that a female president will solve all Nigeria's problems. Look, have we forgotten Diziani, Sirleaf Johnson had serious issues with nepotism in Liberia. The fact is we should get a competent leader, whether male or female. Both sexes in Nigeria are corrupt. I agree. I totally agree that both sexes are corrupt. We are all human.
Yes.
We are all human.
Everybody has
that. Female leader who they try to bribe. That thing in...
Which country?
This country now. The minister, they all went to the Senate. Oh, I've forgotten her name.
Patricia Ete? Or who? No. Try to bribe.
She's with NDDC. They had issues. She was the head of NDDC.
She slapped somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
She had issues with the commissioner. The commissioner in charge of Niger Delta.
You see, YK, let me tell you why I don't really agree with you with the Twitter. You see sometimes we should just say it exactly as it is. Let's try a woman, period. Let's just try it. For whatever reason. Let's just try it, because we've been doing this thing over and over again. I hear you, competence is important, absolutely. A woman who is competent, but let's bring a woman. Because we believe that she feels that for a woman there's a higher stake. Yeah. It's not just, I'm just the president. There's more at stake for her. And she'll have that drive to ensure that she leaves a legacy that people can say, yes, this person was the first female president, and she came, she saw, and she was able to develop Nigeria and take Nigeria away from that pit that she found Nigeria. So I hear the sentiment of let us not focus on that, but I'm also being sentimental. Let us bring a woman. Let's find a woman who is competent and push her for 2023. Let the various parties front a woman. But there are women who have actually shown capacity in different ways. There's this woman, this bank, something David Boras, I can't remember her first name. Yeah, I think she's the chairman or the ED of one of the big banks. Stambik, yes. These are people who have shown economic strength in different ways.
That's what we need.
They're educated,
so
they're
there's
smart.
a track record. Because at the end of the day, we have career politicians.
Yeah.
And for every time you are elected, and the president, America just elected a career politician. Joe Biden has been in politics for the past 50 years. However, there's a track record of policies, there's a track record of action, consistency of service. We have tried politicians who've been playing the politics game. We could say that let's deviate from this political theme. And citing examples of some states that have gone with technocrats and the success they've achieved. So if we now say let's try technocrats and try a female technocrat as opposed to a female politician, we might see better results. However, we have a corrupt system that involves everybody. Because the female person will need to still use Indomie to get votes. She will still need to give rice, give sugar, do campaign, sell, all those things. Those are the things we really, really need to deal with so that people are not voting.
Every female politician that is corrupt, there are 50.
Yes, now.
Corrupt male politicians.
Because they are in the majority. If the female are in the majority, it may not be that different.
Now, but you see, I think we should not sell ourselves short as women. We shouldn't sell. We should try, push ourselves. I totally agree with Morayo. I know and I understand where you're coming from. We are not there yet because of those that I have your type at home. Vote for who? We have them. But a woman can lead. Let's not ever.
Okay, I have somebody in mind that I want to say.
Okay,
I
call
think,
her name.
and not because I think she's competent, but I think she has the posture for the kind of leadership Nigeria needs.
Posture.
That kind of person who this woman I'm about to mention. If I mention that, I'll get in trouble.
Tell us first.
If I mention this person might not have this person might not have the competence, but if we surround her with people that can strengthen her, but I think she has the personality. That the kind of Nigeria that we have seen. Nigeria is not the kind of person you can take English now and talk to them. No. You need somebody who can scatter ground.
You need a choleric.
You need somebody who is ready to do. And who do I think? Patience Jonathan. You see, that kind of person needs competent people around her.
But
she will be decisive. That woman decisive.
I agree with you.
She enters a room, she don't enter.
Yes, so.
Yeah. She will not take nonsense. Yes. She will be on everybody's parastatal.
Yes, so.
I am watching. She will follow up. She will follow up. These are the kind of personalities we need in Nigeria.
I don't disagree with you.
I agree.
Honestly, because at the end of the day, I think
that... are going to trend for everyone.
No, we love her.
Pepe made a point.
But Patience was known to be very vocal.
Yes.
She speaks her mind, and it's one of the issues we have currently in Nigeria, which is that we don't hear from our leaders, and they don't have a posture of I will not take nonsense.
Yes.
And one of the problems we have in this country is not lack of policy. We have many good policies, fantastic policies.
Absolutely.
The issue is implementation, lack of
political will,
follow through.
Yes.
Follow through. Somebody that will dem all consequences and say, I want this building done. Anybody that is taking the money, give me their name, I will deal with them, they will go to jail. That is the kind of thing we need to see.
And she has it. So the thing now is to surround her with people who will come up with
all her ministers,
creative
all her
ideas.
Advisors, they'll all be, all these ones that are really smart, intelligent people.
And trust me, she can handle them now.
We will vote for,
should we push her forward?
We are pushing Pepe to become our president.
And another person that can speak up, really. And another person that can speak up. Why can't
No, they are saying that she was corrupt now.
Have they been able to hold her?
I don't know about that one.
Have they been able to? Is there evidence?
No case has been established against her.
Exactly. If they had a case, they would have established it.
Posture and ability to lead.
Do we think that? I think that a corrupt person, in terms of leadership of this country, we have tried the non-corrupt person, and the system hasn't really, our president went on the campaign of integrity that is not corrupt. So, as a person, I want to even believe that our president personally isn't a corrupt person. So, but how has the system worked? So, they say Yoruba says ole lomo se ole to. That means a thief knows how to trace a thief. A corrupt person knows how to trace a corrupt person. We might not be looking for a saint. Let's find a good thief that knows all the crooks and the crooked ways and the loopholes and can deal with it. Which is what the president, what they said yesterday about Donald Trump. The guest said that, like it or not, Donald Trump had this attitude of, I will say anything, I will press the button, I will blow you up anywhere you are.
Yes.
And sort of, everybody started feeling like we were on shaky ground. And it made things work.
Yes.
So we like sitting up on, of course, it's erratic.
Iran was silent. They said the ISIS was silent.
North Korea was silent because they felt this man, we don't know where he is.
He is not the one that made the economy improve. The economy was already improving. It was Obama that set the pace for him. But now, as of today, the economy is down.
Yes.
So I hear what Morayo is saying. We need a strong, I don't care person.
Personality.
I understand that. I hear her. I believe in it. A person who will just stand, man or woman.
Take a stand. I mean it.
I mean it. Not be doing nepotistic
appointments.
Then if you cannot, if you know Nigerians will have a problem of, hey, you cannot speak Soprin. We don't need it. You can speak your local dialect and get an interpreter.
Yes.
We want somebody to get the job done. That's what we want. Let's push.
You don't need to speak English now.
That's what I'm saying. But you know Nigerians, like, if you don't
speak English, never
like at this table, because nobody speaks
you would have beaten us.
Maybe Miriam may beat you. So in her mouth. That's what us.
We are Nigerians.
But I think that we should campaign for
women. She wants to do an Americana.
No, I don't. When
you do sometimes. You don't know.
American people, when they come on stage and you say,
no,
hey, look,
that's
excuse me.
That's not true.
I'll look for the videos.
That's not true.
I
have dropped the accent of Murtala Mohammed.
Oh,
please,
God.
I am speaking local.
A few times. But can we not lose the value of what we came up with, which is that a woman can lead this country. A woman can lead this country well. We've tried men for 60 years. I think 2023 we should start looking towards women, and women that feel competent should speak up. And let those that have the money rally around a woman. We here on this show, we will support any female
get 4
candidates.
votes, at least. Okay, you 4 votes.
And all our hundreds of thousands of
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.